The Great Answer by Lillian de Waters, 1940. Chapters 23, 24, and 25. The Wedding Garment. In the 22nd chapter of Matthew, we find the stirring parable of the marriage of the king's son. Here, in inimitable metaphor, Jesus presents the following points of consideration. The gracious invitation to the marriage, the requisite of the wedding garment, the exactitude of life's demands. Come into the acceptance of the great whole, imperatively calls the Spirit to us all. Marriage, therefore, is our full response to this call. The wedding garment is the love and purity we possess as the one. The same perversity which Jesus so stirringly and startlingly depicted in his parable prevails to this day. That is, many are unwilling to denounce individualism and wish to continue with their merchandise, in quotes, the personal ideas and theories pertaining to their separate interpretations of being, thus reject life's progressive demands. The wedding is ready. The great answer is already at hand. But they which were bidden were not worthy. Many prefer to remain with their own personalities, ritualisms, and attachments. Not only are they unworthy to receive the reward of progress, but often they look with disapproval upon those who leave the beaten path of the multitude to follow the emancipating light of the Christ. The more willing one is to surrender the notion of becoming and accept the vision, I am, the sooner shall he participate in the marriage with his Lord's self and put on the wedding garment. The common belief that we are to unfold into our heavenly state as a bud unfolds into a full bloom is absolutely at variance with Christ's teaching. Said he, "You are the light of the world. In you is the kingdom of heaven. Look and behold." Consider yourself man no longer, nor continue your search for the truth. You are the truth now, and never have been otherwise. An illuminative and helpful story is told about an animal which was educated as a sheep, though born a lion. Living with his foster mother, a sheep, he took upon himself her characteristics of timidity and gentleness, even bleating. One day, this cub lamb wandered off near a deep forest. There, before him, stood the majestic form of a huge beast which let forth a terrific roar. Instead of being frightened, something within the cub lamb stirred and wakened. Breathlessly, he listened. Then spontaneously, he answered back with the roar of a lion. Did this animal need to acquire the lion nature or to unfold into it? Or put off the qualities of a sheep? No. He needed to be wedded to his true self and nature. Born a lion, nothing could make him a sheep. This story may well apply to us all. Though educated as man, the individual, subjected to sickness, sin, and all sorts of limitations, all the while we have been life eternal, truth triumphant, and the forever I am. Practically all Jesus' parables contain the same significant lessons. Mainly, we are the one and not the many. We must give up separateness and individualism. We must accept wholeness and oneness. Those who will not yield to these requirements shall necessarily continue in limitation. Through the light of ontology, we can now grasp the great teaching of Jesus clearly and can see and understand that nothing but the mistaken acceptance of individualized consciousness has brought about a reversed situation where dishonesty, impurity, and unworthiness appear, and where limitation seems everywhere. To eliminate the mistaken belief in personality would simultaneously do away with discords of every name and nature, for no lack or inharmony exists in God, the All. As nothing could change the nature of the lion, nor cause him to be other than he really was, so nothing has actually changed us, nor caused us to be other than that which truly we are, but have not known. Listen earnestly and eagerly to hear the still echoing call of the way-shower. I am the truth. Spontaneously, rapturously, may there burst from your heart the great answer, I am the truth. Then shall you be wedded to the whole and wear the wedding garment. The bridegroom cometh. Quote, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Matthew 25:6. Now shall I gain this spiritual inspiration, so to leave all and follow the Christ? Quote, Go and buy for yourselves, is the answer to us each, as given in the parable of the 10 virgins. The bridegroom typifies the self as the whole, thus heaven. The virgins represent those who claim to be pure in heart and desirous of gaining the true understanding. The lamps present receptivity, the oil the flow of divine inspiration. Now 5 of the virgins accepted the self as the one I am, and kept in close touch with progress and revelation. The other 5 heard the message of oneness as only another theory, presenting to them a new road of travel, but gave no genuine attention to it, nor made any place for it to root in their heart. Soon they lost sight of it altogether. Quote, At midnight, the hour least expected, there was a cry made, "Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him." According to the parable, those who had accepted the message abideth in the one consciousness or of indivisible wholeness, feeling no insecurity nor limitation of any kind. But the foolish, they who rejected the message and regarded themselves as so many separate identities, now felt in need of more light and its coexistent supply of good. Thus they hastened to the wise, saying, "Give us of your oil, for our lamps have gone out." Here Jesus depicted the general tendency to this day, that is, to imagine one can borrow good, as though good could ever be separated from life, the whole. What happened then? Did they who had given up the belief in separateness and division now lend their illumination to others? What a deep and pertinent question this is. Let us see how Jesus answered. Quote, "The wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves." Such a teaching as this would sound cold and selfish unless understood from the viewpoint of the Christ. Could anyone borrow from reality? Can the truth lend understanding to you or to me? Can the unlimited be separated or divided? The impossibility of it is surely apparent. None of us can give or lend truth to another, inasmuch as the truth is indivisible, and even now our very own. Regardless of what true ideas one would like to give to another, it could never satisfy. Only limitless abundance can ever completely satisfy anyone. So we find the wise telling the foolish, "Buy for yourselves." All must go to the all. Here alone is the fount of abundance. But while the foolish went about individualistically, intent on borrowing or obtaining for their separate selves, lo, the bridegroom came, and that they were ready, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. The bridegroom, or perfect awareness of the universal self as God, the perfection of all, may come to our attention at any moment. Accepting perfection to be one whole, impossible of separateness, simultaneously we close the door upon the materialistic viewpoint. To be sure, there may be those who still insist that we open the door to them and speak again from the old standpoint of personality and individualism. Then the Lord answers, "Verily I say unto you, I know you not." The perfect can know naught of imperfection. Once having found ourselves to be life, truth, and love, which are infinite and universal, indivisible, and at hand, let us watch that we abide herein. God is all. I am the answer to every problem, the fulfillment of every desire. This is true and certain, since our own being is God, and since our own being constitutes our security in all good. God is neither a personal nor an impersonal being, separate or distinct from ourselves, but the self of everyone. The knowledge of our oneness with this all-sufficient and all-sufficing God being constitutes our perfect and complete solution to problems of every kind, to every emergency, demand, or need. When we are fully wedded to our almighty omnipotent being, accepting ourselves to be the very truth instead of an aspiring student, the dynamic original instead of a lifeless reflection, omniscient mind instead of incompetent man, then we shall experience no sickness or limitation of any kind, for they are not in the house of the Lord. As our awareness becomes more and more clarified and transparent, and we sing and soar, we shall be the living proof of the great realism. God is all. Considering all being as mind, it becomes easier for us to adopt the vision of immaculate and irresistible perfection as always present and intact in everyone. It seems natural for us to see that man sins, is sick, incapable, and utterly worthless. But raising our vision from man to mind, how much more natural to confess the impossibility of us as mind to see or feel other than the perfect continuous supply of good in everything and every way. We know that mind does not see evil, nor lack of any good, nor is there any circumstance, thought, or thing which can influence or persuade mind to do so. Mind is ever consciously aware of its irresistible and all harmonious action and expression, and it includes all being. Therefore, everyone is seeing and expressing the eternal good, nor is anyone seeing or experiencing a lack of any kind. Nothing exists to oppose its harmonious action and expression in every direction. Quote, God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. 1 John 1:5. Mind is the conceiver, and the thing conceived, and it includes all ideas and identities. Admitting only the one thinker and thinking, we are bound to express the very life which mind is, that life of wholeness, harmony, and success, and live in the universe of joy, peace, and delight, the universe wherein there is no darkness at all. Wedded to the one and no other, we are able to transmit this glorious and emancipating message to receptive hearts everywhere. When called upon to help, we should see mind, not man. Mind perfect in every thought and action. Since there is no reality except that of harmony and perfection, we should perceive mind to include everyone, thus everyone to be this consciousness and no other. Truly, then, we are worshipping a God who to us is all. When we behold Jesus as the truth and life, instead of a particularly good man, naturally we shall discern that in order to be like him, we must be identically the same. In John's Gospel, the 14th chapter, we find the eternal promise of the Christ. Quote, "The Comforter, the Spirit of truth, he dwelleth with you and shall be in you." This Comforter is the direct perception or spiritual realization that we are the truth. Then we know that we are not mortals, man, nor expression, but mind, reality, life. This Comforter is the very Spirit of Jesus' teaching, which comes to you and to me, bringing us into the conscious awareness of the perfect self or Father state, to be intact in us all, here and now. Lifting our vision above mortals and humanity, we simultaneously lift it above states and levels of consciousnesses. And admitting one state as the all and only, we see all as in and of perfection, and none outside of it. We are the one mind beholding itself as the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Acknowledging the one consciousness to be perfect and to include all, we no longer deal with humans, no personalities, nor consider how to heal, educate, or regenerate them. If we are to love everyone, then it is imperative that we see them as they truly are, and in no other fashion. Any view contrary to this is a compromising one, and is beholding as through a glass, darkly. In order to see face to face, we must turn from the double vision which permits of God and man, life and death, abundance and limitation, consciousness and mortal mind. Reader, are you willing now to forsake all thought and talk of planes, states, and realms, in order that you may see and accept the one state only, the Father reality, present and intact, our very self and being? Verily, for us to exist at all, we must be and are the one life, the one thinker, the one mind as the whole. As such, we have inspiration, revelation, and true thinking. We know that the world within us is without evil of any kind. Listen closely. If God is there where you are, then all good is there where you are. Health, harmony, activity. If God is there where you are, then true and right thoughts are there where you are. Fearlessness, power, receptivity. If God is there where you are, then peace and understanding are there where you are. Happiness, blessedness, security. If God is there where you are, then indivisibility is there where you are. Oneness, allness, I amness. If God is there where you are, then nothing opposing him is there where you are. Nothing contrary to him is there where you are. Nothing unlike him is there where you are.